Welcome you back, my people. Hope our weekend went well. Still in the political zone, Tinubu has been seriously exposed at the early hours of today after a big secret of his administration was exposed. Despite the huge sum of money that was allocated for some budget that actually attracted a whole lot of reaction online. In this video, you will see whom you people have actually voted for. If you have been following this channel, in my previous video, I said this administration are only there to extort the nation's fund. This big secret has attracted a whole lot of reaction online today. Even rufai OSENI of Arise News already came out and gave a total of the accumulated debt of Nigeria presently. My people, share this video. If you cannot share it, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. We'll be right back shortly.
Welcome to LAJUPOG TV show.
The home of crime scene.
Is happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happiness in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome to LAJUPOG TV show, where we bring you political gist, celebrity, and religious gossip. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do where to click the red subscription button, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trending gist. Tinubu was exposed at the early hours of today, where some obedience or where some used buses were repainted so as to deceive Nigerians that they are new buses. And the repercussion of this is that these buses will be used for some months, and Nigerians thereafter will be wondering what could be the reason for these so-called brand new buses breaking down so early, not knowing that they are used buses that are government, but with huge amount of money that the Nigerians are still frowning about. With this, it shows that every single person surrounding President Bola Ahmed TINUBU, with the representatives, both APC, PDP, and even Labour Party, that Nigerians are hoping in all are thieves after purchasing these buses at a very cheap price. Then a very huge amount of money will be pocketed by a group of people in this administration. Despite the 100 billion budget, Tinubu government went ahead to procure used buses. I already said it that these people are taking the citizens of Nigeria for a joke. Imagine a huge sum of money that wike allocated to the house of the vice president at this present hardship that the country is facing. Well, rufai OSENI has made the whole debt calculation for Nigerians easy. He actually calculated everything on national TV with the high cost of commodity that has skyrocketed in the past few months, and also the drastic devaluation of Nigeria and high cost of living. Our government do not see all these things to tackle, but what comes to their mind each and every day is how to siphon the country fund. It would have been so easy for the Nigerians to take the government back from these greedy politicians if they were few, but with this, it shows that every single individual in that old chamber are corrupt. Imagine a situation where the judiciary, executive, and the legislative are all corrupt. Then the backwardness of the country is inevitable. There are some politicians that are not even supposed to be in power again in this country if our system is rightfully working. This is more reason why Showore is advocating for revolution. Our brothers and sisters are running away from the country every day simply because they are in search of greener pasture. My people, stay back as I will be playing the videos. We'll be right back.
Stars together, fellow Nigerians watching, pick up a calculator wherever you might be this morning and calculate this. 87 plus 26. 87 trillion, the debt we have on ground, plus 26, the debt that is proposed that will borrow in the mid-term expenditure framework. 26 trillion plus 87 trillion. That'll give you about 113 trillion. That's where we're still going with the borrowing. Let me also shock you. In the last 21 years, our debt profile increased by over 600%. I'll read a very exciting thing to you this morning. It might shock you. There is a news article from 31st of July 2021 in the cable. It says, from Obasanjo to Buhari, our federal government's debt profile surged 685% to 26.9 trillion in 21 years. I'm sure if you remember, at some point we had our debt forgiven largely by the Paris Club. When President Jonathan was leaving power, the debt stock was about 12 billion in dollar terms. Today surged to over 50 billion in dollar terms. That's the kind of country we've built. But in all of this, ask, what did President Buhari do with all the money he borrowed? I'm sure they'll probably show you a rail line. A Ibadan to Lagos rail line with all of its challenges, and the train stopping in the middle of the road because of no diesel. Kaduna rail line that we couldn't put in security infrastructure and people were kidnapped and a doctor died and many other people died. I'm sure they'll show you rail lines. What else? They'll say roads, Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Yeah. What else? They'll show you other infrastructure projects. How does this affect the people? What have we done with all the money we've borrowed? We've squandered riches. We've printed more money, we've borrowed, we've increased the debt stock at the detriment of Nigerian people. And that's why we're asking more questions from President Tinubu. What are you going to do with this money you want to borrow now? Yeah, you might claim it's been approved before. What are you going to do with it? Because the supplementary budget the other time was to buy luxury cars and a couple of other things. Don't we feel sad that a position like the wife of the president, we're buying luxury cars for her, is not stated in the constitution? Why do you need to do it? The president's wife said, oh, we are not coming here because we need your money. We're already rich before we came in here in the first place. They could have afforded their cars. Then we talked about the yachts. Then we all saw what happened. Now we're passing another loan. Is it after the state governors are spending billions of naira on frivolous activities and incurring more debt to the future generation yet unborn? Please humor me. If all these loans we take, if we can see the direct knock-on investment on Nigerians, I will be the first one to say borrow more. We're seeing what you're doing with the money. But we're spending it on frivolities. And we forget we have to pay back this money someday. And because of the loan, we're having a knock-on effect on inflation. Most of the money we printed in ways and means. But remember the inflationary pressures all of that brought, we've not settled all of that. So now, even if we call for debt forgiveness, no nation will take us seriously. Because when they forgave us our Paris Club debt, before you know it, we borrowed all over again. And we are squandering our riches. We're not making enough revenue. We're incurring more debt. The budget, 27 trillion. The revenue projection, and it doesn't mean you are hitting that revenue. It doesn't mean you have, it's just a projection. You can fall far low. Budget performance is about the 50-60% percentile. But what are we doing with the money? Nothing. We just squander it. And what we hear down the line are cases of corruption. Please, the National Assembly should save Nigeria. I know they say the National Assembly is rubber stamp. Scratch that. The National Assembly is copy and paste of the executive. It's obvious that anything the executive says, they just copy and they paste it. But at least, if it is the will of the Nigerian people that put you there, investigate and ask questions. But how will you ask questions in the National Assembly? You remember they approved the 160 million for your SUVs, isn't it? How would you ask questions? Because you're also in there as complicit while the people bleed. Have a conscience. But when we keep having conversations and we're not true to ourselves in those conversations, then the question is, are we truly ready to advance? I'm really happy about what Yaga Africa did yesterday. I'm really proud of the stakeholder engagement. But please, it should not end there. After the 2007 elections, that the president that was elected from the elections said the elections were fraught with irregularities, he set up the Waste Commission. And the Waste Commission is supposed to be the template. Professor Jega was on that Waste Commission. In fact, it was an extension of that. They used and they put him as INEC chief. And he did his very best. It has to be said that leadership matters a great deal. After 2015 elections, people didn't call for the unbundling of INEC because Professor Jega did a good job. But our leaders have a way of picking and choosing. They passed some parts of the Waste Commission, they left some part and part. The most critical part, if we want election transparency in this country, is the fact that the president must not have a hand in who becomes INEC chief or how INEC is run. But most leaders, I dare them to do it. And I dare the incumbent president to ensure that that becomes the order of the day, that the president does not have a hand in who picks the head of INEC. I dare them. I double dare. I triple dare. I will be surprised if they do it. Because why? benefits all of us. We all remember President Buhari, how he kept on sending back the electoral laws passed in there because of grammatical errors. After I said he was so close to the elections. But once he knew he was leaving, automatically he changed course and allowed things flow. The success of any election will still be incumbent on our leaders in the country. Both who is made the leader of INEC. Yeah, I appreciate the calls for reforms. But if you unbundle INEC and have multiple commissions and you put suspect leaders, you will have problems with elections. That's why the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakub, has a lot of questions to answer, an explanation to make to Nigerians why there was a glitch for only the presidential election, the IRF. Until date, we've not had him answer that question. Today, I would like to give commendations to a man called Wafula Chebukati. He was the head of the Electoral Commission in Kenya. I stood tall in the last elections. It is in moments of chaos with no leaders. So, if we can have the likes of Wafula Chebukati, we can also have leaders that will serve on the Election Commission and do well. So we must encourage people when they do well. Till today, the reason why Jega is still being called to come and speak about election was because of his performance in 2015. Take it or leave it. You might not like the man, but he's become a standard for elections. So please, our leaders should do right. The full adoption of the waste report is what we should look at. And the president should start by that clause that says the president must not pick who is the INEC chief. If President Tinubu does it, I will come here and give Sadankata.
Welcome back, my people. So, as stated by Rufai OSENI of Arise News, he said the National Assembly are copy and paste of the executives, and these are the people that are supposed to save Nigerians. They are there to put things right, to put head together so as for the economy to boost. But ever since they've allocated a huge amount of money for exotic SUV cars, they cannot stock again. Tinubu has bought their conscience with SUV cars, so there are no more rooms for questioning and decision made by the Bola Ahmed TINUBU, since those that Nigerians are trusting to help has joined the multitude to drag down the country. Then I say revolution is inevitable. Before Tinubu was elected, a man of God came out and said Tinubu will outsmart the remaining candidates. My people, his outsmart is actually playing out, but have we asked ourselves why is outsmartness not taking Nigerians as a whole to the next level? It's as a result of his corrupt mind and his nature of dictatorship. If you do not have a plan for the betterment of the country, why then vying for the post of the president? We didn't force your wife to tell us how rich you are when she said you guys were not interested in Nigerian money. You could have taken all the money spent on SUV cars for Nigerian First Lady from your personal account. My people, feel free to drop your opinion at the comment section as I will be drawing this video to a close. Do not forget to share our videos to every social media platform. If you can share it, share it. If you cannot share it, please give it a thumbs up, like it, so that YouTube will recommend it for us. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you when next we drop our next video. Bye for now.